Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The comeback of Kalonzo was seen when he accompanied Raila in the latest two events. One was hearing of the Austin motion, or rather removal, of Cherera and the four breakaway commissioners, and the meeting with Azimio allied governors in Mombasa. Which way Kalonzo Musyoka? Because the dominant conversation now, and I think the question is, who is going to take on William Ruto on the Azimio side? Are we really in agreement that Raila's bullets are exhausted? But then, currently, we are talking about a push by Azimio to boycott elections if election reforms are not dealt with. Welcome to the Bold Analysis. And this is the most informative political podcast in this country. Kalonzo has been pushed to the corner. I read a very interesting story today that the day William Ruto was declared president-elect at Bomas, he made two calls. One call was to Raila Odinga, and he confirmed that he talked with Raila, even though what he said is that they talked about not working together, but about the outcome of the elections. And the other call he made to Kalonzo Musyoka, and told Kalonzo Musyoka that he wanted to form government, but he wanted to be with him, or rather so that he would actually give him all that he was promised on Azimio la Umoja the very day in the morning. And Kalonzo reportedly declined, or rather did not take the offer. And my good friend, I was trying to do some peer analysis with some very good gentleman who was telling me that was a catch-22. And it was just President Ruto was just trying to do what the late Mwai Kibaki did in 2007, when he appointed Kalonzo Musyoka the vice president, and to that extent, he was actually just trying to boost legitimacy. So when Ruto was up, when the announcement that he was going to be announced president came out, he was expecting, and he knew very well that legitimacy was going to be a problem, and he was doubtful of whether even Uhuru Kenyatta is going to give him power or what Raila is going to do. And so to that moment, Kalonzo Musyoka, I think that was his time to chart his political future, whether he was going Raila or he was going Kalonzo. And Kalonzo declined. What William Ruto maybe just wanted was to bring Kalonzo on his side. But even though that failed, William Ruto did not tire. And as government is fashioned, Kambas have got, which is where Kalonzo Musyoka comes from, irrespective of meritocracy, have got 5 lucrative posts, powerful posts in government. Actually, someone was saying that Ruto was expecting repulsive force from the Azimio wing, or maybe through whether they were going to protest or they were going to illegitimize his win. I don't know why that was coming through. You want free and fair. So these powerful people have been appointed in government, and analysts are seeing it as also part of the wider strategy to neutralize Kalonzo Musyoka, and also to show the Kapa Nation that you can chart your own political path away from Kalonzo Musyoka. The strategy of using the young politicians to outsmart the big boys. Jonathan Mweke, who vied for Kitui governor's seat, and through UDA, was appointed PS, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sports and Arts and Sports. Monica Juma, who also served with Uhuru Kenyatta, was handed national security advisor position. Penina, even though I understand that that position really had a big stake, even from the foreign powers. Penina Malonza was handed tourism docket. Rebecca Miano is a Kamba married in Central, was handed the East African community. Alfred Mutua, Foreign Affairs. I was told this is one of the ministries that Kalonzo was supposed to be given. This is a ministry that it was actually promised also by Raila Odinga, and some people might think it was a blunder not to take it. Veronica Maina, PS Gender and Affirmative Action, that's working under Aisha Jumwa, and Teresia Mbaika, State Department for Devolution. So there's been this. Also, Ruto was not done with Kitui. If you look at areas, I think Makueni, the Makueni governor, Mutula Kilonzo Jr. have a soft spot for William Ruto. I think he's been warming for UDA. He's just afraid because the ground is pro-wipe a bit, but he's been warming up to UDA. Wavinya Ndeti has come out in public. He's working with William Ruto, of course, no pun intended. In Kitui is where Ruto is really going hardcore. Remember, at the height of last campaign, Charity Ngilu was not meeting eye to eye with William Ruto. And one other development from Kitui is William Ruto could allegedly have a hand in election of the county speaker, Kevin Kinengo. Kevin Kinengo was Kalonzo's PA, yes, at one point. And he defeated Kalonzo's preferred candidate, who was George Ndoto. Kevin Kinengo is very close to Ruto's daughter and had hosted Ruto's daughter in Kitui for some time even before that his election as the speaker. So with the 2027 contest and framing and coming into play, Kalonzo is in the crossroads. The country, or rather Raila's supporters, are divided, and there could be an opinion that maybe it is time to pass the baton to Kalonzo Musyoka. I am one person that believes the Raila ideology of his presidency could still be achieved through another person. And if Kalonzo, I think it's not wrong to call Kalonzo, for Kalonzo to take up the mantle. And the dilemma is this. Kalonzo must bank on Raila's blessings or change and join Raila's betrayal chorus to galvanize his support. The challenge about breaking ranks with Raila, being both of them are ranking and founder and ranking members of Azimio, the fact that if they break ranks with Raila, you can galvanize your support, but not which support. With the way William Ruto has conducted politics and seems to have taken Western, William Ruto has taken Western, quite a big percentage from Western, Central, Coast, and the rest. If Kalonzo breaks ranks with Raila, most likely he might not find a soft landing. So whatever is going to galvanize can only be the home base. And if he galvanizes that home base, or an exit from Raila's ranks, will probably mean that he has to join hands with William Ruto. Because what is to be galvanized here will not be so much into it, because Raila will remain with his loyal voting constituency. And perhaps Kalonzo will only hold it easy and tight for the Azimio supporters if he's within Raila's space. And it looks more lucrative. But however, I saw an attempt by Kalonzo to form shadow cabinet when Raila returns. I think he once made such announcements. I don't know where it went, but he didn't say. On this, it is about time that Kalonzo must have a conversation with Raila and the Azimio ranking members so that they start personal branding. If Raila is making an exit, that is an exit route. I've always said that one of the things that is not difficult for Raila to leave power. I don't think it's about power. He has everything. But leaving the country in a very difficult state could be the big problem. Kalonzo must have personal branding so that Kenyans know the character or the person they're dealing with. For example, the last time he was a presidential candidate was in 2007. So 2013, 2017, he was a running mate. In 2022, he was not a running mate. He was he was not in the ticket. So for him, because dynamics are also changing, what was in ballot, the tension of the country ballot in 2007, 2013, 2017 are different, even from what will be in the ballot in 2027. What will be in the ballot in 2027 is a person who will successfully tell Kenyans that what William Ruto offered did not deliver. And so he must have new solutions. So on that, you must check, are you going the gentleman politics or are you taking Ruto head on? The personal branding is very important. I agree that in future, the person who is taking over from William Ruto should come out and be known. It will be known, and Kenyans will make that judgment. Even though lazima kuwe ready kupigwa na mawe. The second thing that Kalonzo must establish new friends and inject them in his circle. New political friends. Whether you need to maintain ranks with Gideon Moi, I don't know whether he is, you need to maintain ranks with Uhuru Kenyatta, or rather with the financiers, political financiers and political brokers, you need to form your own deep state. In fact, you need to consolidate a base apart from the voting constituency and find a collective narrative to galvanize the Kamba unity. Lastly, Wiper Party. Because at the end of the day, the party gives you the strength. I don't know what's your take, guys. And on this one, I was just looking at the politics of Kalonzo Musyoka. Thank you. That's our last podcast today. See you tomorrow on Sunday.